My name is Eleanor and I am 72 years old. For much of my life I was a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. When my husband passed away almost 8 years ago, everything I thought defined me seemed to unravel. The house we built together became too quiet, the days too long, and the years passed with an empty weight I didn't know how to lift. I had lived in the same small town in Vermont all my life. A place where the seasons marked time more clearly than any calendar ever could. The snow would come in thick blankets, the leaves would burn red and gold in autumn, and the summers would be brief but full of quiet joy. Yet, after William's death, I found little joy left in the world I once loved. For a long time I thought grief would be my permanent companion. I moved through my days with mechanical precision, watering the garden, fixing a meal, watching the sun set through the curtains. But my heart stayed heavy, my spirit dormant. The loneliness was profound, but worse than that was the feeling that I had nothing left to offer. My children, grown and busy with their own lives, called often but never stayed long. Friends were kind, but their visits were fleeting, polite affairs filled with comforting words that felt hollow to my ears. It was on one particularly cold winter morning that my story began to change. I was gathering firewood near the back porch when I heard the crunch of footsteps through the fresh snow. Looking up, I saw a young man struggling with a heavy box just down the street, walking toward a small cottage that looked as if it hadn't been lived in for years. Instinctively, I called out, "Do you need some help?" He looked surprised but smiled warmly. "Yes, thank you," he said, lifting the box with my assistance. His name was David. A carpenter by trade. He had recently moved to town after a divorce. He was here to fix up the old cottage, hoping for a fresh start. We quickly fell into an easy rhythm. I shared stories of the town, and he talked about his dreams of building a new life. With every visit, I felt a spark of something I hadn't felt in years, hope. David wasn't just fixing up an old house. He was helping me rebuild mine, the one inside myself. One afternoon, as he repaired a broken fence in my garden, I found myself talking about William, about love, loss, and the years of silence that followed his passing. David listened without judgment, offering only kindness and quiet understanding. It was the first time in years I had felt truly seen. As spring came to Vermont, the garden bloomed, and so did I. I began painting again, something I had given up after William's illness. My brushes brought color back to my life, and David was always there to encourage me. With each passing week, our friendship grew deeper. We shared meals, long walks by the river, and evenings by the fireplace. He was gentle, patient, and never rushed me. One summer night, sitting on my porch wrapped in a warm blanket, I realized I was smiling more than I had in a decade. I told David, "I thought my story had ended, but you've shown me there's still so much left to live for." He smiled. "Life is full of new chapters, Eleanor. We just have to be willing to turn the page." That night, I understood that healing isn't about forgetting the past. It's about carrying it with grace, while opening your heart to the possibilities of tomorrow. Now, as I write this, I am filled with gratitude, for the seasons of life, for memories that warm my soul, and for the unexpected friendship that helped me find my way back to joy. At 72, I am not the woman I was before. I am stronger, braver, and more alive than I ever thought possible. And if there is one thing I've learned, it's this. It's never too late to begin again.